often referred to as the Great War and the War to End Wars, the First World War had already been raging in Europe for nearly 3 years before President Woodrow Wilson declared that the U.S. would be joining the fight in April of 1917. At the time, the United States of America's military force consisted of just under 130,000 service members. By the time the armistice of 11 November 1918 brought about the end of World War I, the U.S. force had grown to over 4 million individuals. The nation suffered over 130,000 casualties in just over 1 year of fighting in the First World War. As a state, Indiana sent over 130,000 individuals to serve in the Great War, with over 3,000 of those making the ultimate sacrifice. The armistice brought relief to the world, and the United States anxiously awaited the return of those who had survived the bloody conflict. On May 7, 1919, Indianapolis welcomed home service members with a day of celebration that included a parade that marched down Meridian Street through a Victory Arch to the Soldiers and Sailors Monument. Just a few months later, the American Legion, which was formed on March 15, 1919 in Paris, France, met in Minneapolis, Minnesota for their first national convention in November of 1919. It was at this inaugural convention that the American Legion was to select a city to be the home for the national headquarters. After a great deal of lobbying and presentations from representatives of various cities, it came down to two: Washington, D.C. and Indianapolis, Indiana. On Armistice Day 1919, a final vote saw Indianapolis edge out the nation's capital by a vote of 361 to 323. In July of 1920, a special session of the Indiana legislature authorized the creation of a board of trustees to guide the construction of a memorial to be dedicated to Indiana's war dead. The session donated 3 blocks, already owned by the state in downtown Indianapolis, for the memorial. The first block was St. Clair Park, located across North Street from the Indianapolis and Marion County libraries. The second was occupied by the Indiana School for the Blind. And the third was University Square, located across New York Street from the Federal Building. This special session also authorized the city of Indianapolis and Marion County to issue bonds in 1921 to purchase the 2 remaining blocks for the envisioned 5-block Memorial Plaza, one of which was to be used as the future site of a Veterans Memorial Plaza. The other was to be for the Indiana World War Memorial itself. The purchase of these 2 blocks would complete a 5-block area in downtown Indianapolis that was to serve as the home for the memorial grounds. On April 19, 1923, a design submitted by the Ohio architectural firm of Walker & Weeks was announced as the winner from 26 competing bids. Their design envisioned the Indiana World War Memorial and Veterans Memorial Plaza with an expansive landscaped mall. To accommodate the need for administrative space from organizations such as the American Legion, plans were drawn up to add 2 buildings to the north end of the plaza as officials had decided to separate the memorial from such administrative functions. By December 1923, virtually all of the 5-block area was deeded to the Indiana World War Memorial Commission, which made it possible for construction to begin. First to be built was the original national headquarters for the American Legion on Meridian Street. In February 1926, the Indianapolis firm of E.C. Strathman Company was selected to build the foundation on which the Indianapolis World War Memorial would rest. Construction of the Indiana World War Memorial's foundation required excavation to 20 feet below street level and had to accommodate dimensions spanning nearly 200 feet square. About 150 workmen were employed in this project, and as specified by the Indiana World War Memorials Commission and Governor McRae, war veterans received preference in hiring whenever possible. During construction, care was taken to leave two churches on the site undisturbed. These were the Second Presbyterian Church on the east and the First Baptist Church on the west. These churches were spared throughout construction of the Indiana World War Memorial and were not removed until 1960. Construction required that several buildings be relocated. Among them was the 6-story Hague Hotel, which moved about 600 feet down Michigan Street, pulled by 2 teams of horses. Though no longer a hotel, it can still be seen today about 1 block east of the memorial on Michigan Street. By October 1926, the Indiana World War Memorials Foundation was complete and ready for construction of the main superstructure. The Cleveland firm of Hunk & Conkey was selected as the contractor after a winning bid of $1,277,000. Construction continued with the initial brickwork on the completed foundation. In the distance, behind the Indiana World War Memorial's main entrance steps, the Soldiers and Sailors Monument can be seen. On the 4th of July, 1927, General John "Black Jack" Pershing, commander of the American Expeditionary Forces in the Great War, dedicated and set the Indianapolis World War Memorial cornerstone. By the end of April 1929, the limestone statues crowning the memorial's magnificent Ionic columns were ready to be placed. Here, the 7th of 24 statues is being lowered into place on the north face of the memorial. 6 statues are featured on each face of the memorial and represent courage and memory, peace and victory, liberty and patriotism. Each of these limestone statues were carved from a 10.5-foot, 7-ton block of stone. These sculptures were the work of Henry Herring, noted New York artist, who also did the bronze Pro Patria statue which stands today on the south steps of the memorial. While work on the main Indiana World War Memorial structure continued, construction began on Veterans Memorial Plaza, just across Michigan Street from the Indiana World War Memorial site. Another Indianapolis landmark, the nearby Scottish Rite Cathedral, located on the west side of Meridian Street, was also undergoing construction at this time. Also visible is the historic Francis Costigan Indiana School for the Blind. By September 1929, the Veterans Memorial Plaza obelisk was complete. On each face of the plaza's 100-foot black granite obelisk, bas-relief bronze sculptures also by Henry Herring are featured. Knowledge, law, religion, and science. While the plaza construction was progressing, work continued unabated on the main structure of the Indiana World War Memorial. Extension of the north and south stairways gave the memorial its broad approaches from Michigan and Vermont streets. In this aerial view, the American Legion National Headquarters, the first building in the plaza, can be seen in the lower left. Veterans Memorial Plaza and its obelisk and fountain at center, and the Indiana World War Memorial at top right, with its adjacent churches. Between Veterans Memorial Plaza and the American Legion headquarters, the Francis Costigan Indiana School for the Blind remained. Demolition of this 1852 landmark began in October 1930 to permit excavation for the mall leading to the American Legion building. Here, the Veterans Memorial Plaza obelisk and Indiana World War Memorial can be seen in the background. Similarly, the St. Clair Park area, donated by the 1920 special session of the Indiana legislature, was prepared for the placing of a cenotaph memorial. On November 11, 1932, the finished black marble cenotaph was dedicated to the memory of Indiana's war dead. At the foot of the monument, a plaque was placed honoring America's first casualty of the Great War, Corporal James Gresham of Evansville, Indiana, killed in France, November 3, 1917. With the 5-block Memorial Plaza envisioned 10 years earlier virtually complete, the Indiana World War Memorial was dedicated on Armistice Day, 1933. Today, the plaza still looks very much as it did in the 1923 artist concept. The plaza has seen some changes, however. These include the 1948 addition of a second neoclassical building on the north end, which now serves as the home to the American Legion National Headquarters, a Veterans Center located in the original American Legion Headquarters building, a memorial dedicated to Gold Star families, and monuments to Indiana's lost service men and women of World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Throughout the innumerable trials and challenges of constructing this magnificent memorial plaza over the years, the goal remained unchanged: to honor the service and sacrifice of America's patriots. For more information on all of the properties managed by the Indiana War Memorials Commission, please visit www.indianawarmemorials.org.